Hi guys, got another project today. Today we're going to do the tachometer. If you've watched the speedometer one, it's not going to be much different. This one is just going to be, it should be a little easier because you don't have the trip knob involved. So let's get with it here and see if it is. Again, we just need to get the ring off the back. Usually they just pop off, yep, just like that. And these captured both of the washers here. Well, if they're going to stay, we're going to leave them. Again, the procedure is to remove this plastic. Well, this one seems harder than the last one. This one has a lot of that. It looks like moisture had gotten inside it too. Just hoping it'll clean up as nice as the other one did. All right. I think we got it all off there. And we just start go around here and pry it. This one doesn't have the lenses coming loose on the inside like the last one I did. The last tachometer I did had the lenses for the lights down here at the bottom. They were popping out. I had to re-glue all those in. Don't think we're going to have to mess with it here. Some of those little screws can just be a son of a gun. Well, maybe I didn't need to take that loose. Yeah, of course not, because we don't need to worry about the trip. So I'm just sticking back in there. This one's got a really nice face on it. I was told this one was under a tarp for most of its life, and of course it only had 1,300 miles on it. Again, let me just point out that you've got the notches here, here, and they go here and here. So just watch for that when you're done. And I don't know whether you can see that or not. Looks like moisture, and it is on the inside. It just, like moisture was there and then dried up. So it caused a kind of a blurring or whatever effect on it. So we'll try to get that cleaned up, and I'll get everything cleaned up here and get the hand repainted, just like on the speedometer. We'll use the little, that's what this is for speedometer hands. So let me get the cleaning up here, and then we'll come back and start the reassembly. All right, again, we're just going to use some of the rubbing compound on the outside of it. Just try not to stay in one place very long. Now I see one pretty deep scratch on here, and it's not going to take it out. It's right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it won't get all that, but it'll get a lot of it. Let's take a look at our progress. It's looking pretty nice. I think I'm going to do a little bit more of that, and then I'm going to drop down to the dark foam glaze. I don't know whether I mentioned this or used this in the speedometer video. It's I got this little buffer off of Amazon, I believe, and I'm sure it's an offshore item, but it works pretty good for this kind of stuff. And I'm just using a little soft foam pad, and they Velcro on there. And I think they've also got the little pads. This is, it's about a 3.5 inch pad. And you can get around there. You just have to try not to stay in one place very long, and just keep going with it until it gets down to what you're happy with. These work real good on cars too, in a real tight spot. If you're buffing out sap or just ingrained dirt in the paint or whatever. They work pretty good. Okay, let me finish this up and I'll get back with you. All right, we've got this, I think, pretty well done. The inside cleaned up nice, and I've still got the one little scratch there, but it's pretty deep. There's some others in there, but by and large, it's a lot nicer than it was, and I really didn't have to spend too much time on it. Now, the ring is a different story. It's got a little rust on the outside here, and all I do is take a little 4/0 steel wool, and it'll take most of it off. I mean, where the pits are, you're not going to get it, but the staining, the color of the rust will be removed. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do there. You can see how it takes most of it off. All right, and then on the tack itself, I'm not going to go too crazy here, but I'm going to put a little bit of oil. This is a very light oil right up the end here. See, they don't turn very good. They've got to have the cable on it. If you go at it very lightly, it will. Otherwise, if you try to stick a drill in there and do that, it's going to want to move that hand all the way around. You don't want that. But you can see there that it's going to function. I just need to put the cable on it and hook the cable up to the drill, and then it will work. And there's another little pivot point right there. And again, we'll just, this just doesn't need a lot. You know, it hadn't had anything for 45, 50 years, so it needs a little drink of oil here and there. All right, and then last thing to kind of do before we put it back together is touch up that needle a little bit. There, doesn't take much. That little bottle has done a lot of speedometer hands and tacks. All right, I'm going to let that dry and bring you back. I'm going to have everything else cleaned up and ready to assemble, and then we'll go through assembly again. It's not going to be a whole lot different than the speedometer, but if you want to see it, stick around, we'll do it. All right, I think we've got her all cleaned up and ready to reassemble. The hand's dry. Now, these could go on either way with as long as you line up your pins here and everything. So another way to check is the hood. It's thicker up here at the top. This is the hood part, supposedly to shade or shadow the piece a little bit, and it's narrower at the bottom. So your lights in this case would go to the bottom, you know, where the hood is the shortest. So it would go like this, and again, just line up your little tang in there with the slot. Oh, that one just popped in. It's really nice. There you go. Not too bad. And here's the speedometer that we did the other day. So it's going to look a lot better. So again, just get your microfiber towel, put that on it. And once you've got that lined up and put together, I just take my adhesive, and this stuff will flow into the hole a little bit and also overlap the plastic, not the hole, the crack between the two pieces. But it doesn't dry so hard that you can't get it back apart if you need to. Looks like I got a whole lot more on there than I needed though. So there we go. Just let that dry and slide the ring back on it, and we should be good to go for another 50 years. So if you like the content, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you think it's good, and we'll keep pressing on with this bike. And when we get done, we're going to start another one. And there's plenty more to go after that. So we got a lot of bikes we can work on. So thanks for joining me.